Hello everyone, and welcome to video 2 in my 4-part series on how to design revision that really works for neurospicy brains. So I'd like to ask a question. When does your teen do their best thinking? Is it late at night when everybody's gone to bed? Do they like to work in silence? Do they like to have loud music? Do they like to work at their desk? Do they like to work lying on their bed? Do they like to work on a beanbag? What my 40 years experience has taught me is that every neurospicy young person is different, and we have to treat them as an experiment, a piece of action research. And your teen is the researcher, and the topic is what suits their brains the best. So we're reframing revision from a chore to an interesting piece of action research. So you must explore the key questions. Do they like to work in stony silence? Now, I know that I did. I worked best into the wee small hours when everybody else had gone to bed and I had the whole house to myself, and I can see myself spreading out all my books on the dining room table, and it had extending leaves so it could be really big and I could spread all my stuff out in front of me. It used to drive my mum and dad mad, but it really worked for me because it was quiet. Do they like to work on their own, or do they like to work with what's called a body double? That could be you, it could be a friend, it could be a peer, they could be working together. I know some young people that I've worked with like to go to a coffee shop and they like the hustle and the bustle, but if they're working with some study buddies and they hold each other accountable, they can really crack on and make good progress. Is your young person a night owl, like I was, or are they a morning person? Now, there is no right answer. There is the answer that works for your child and the way their brain is wired. I'll give you a beautiful example of a young person that I was working with quite a long time ago, and she was having real trouble getting down to doing her maths revision. And she had a younger sister who really missed her big sister's company with all this boring revision. So we thought about how could we make maths revision more fun and include her little sister. And she thought for a while, and then she came up with this brilliant idea. And that was that her little sister should write out maths problems on post-its, and she would stick these problems all over the house. So that might be in the bathroom, it might be where the tablecloth was, it might be where the table mats were when her job was to set the table. But the rule was wherever she found a secret maths problem on a post-it note, she had to do that piece of work there and then. And it worked really, really well because it made it fun. There was an element of surprise, and her little sister felt that she was really helping her big sister with her revision. Good, isn't it? So another thing is access arrangements. You can have a scribe, you can have a prompter, but all these things need to be negotiated early because the school needs lead-in time to sort this out. So if you haven't done so already, now is a good time to get in touch with the school to ask for these arrangements and to give your why this is necessary, because it's going to help your young person be the best that they can be. Now, another great tip is to colour code things. We neurospicy people love colour, as you can see. So this was taught to me by Sarah Newton a long time ago in her student success program. You need at least one piece of A4 for each subject, maybe 2, especially if it's biology, and you divide the piece of A4 into 4 columns. In the first column is all the revision topics, all the neat little topics. So it might be respiration or digestion. I'm thinking about biology because I know it's a huge curriculum that's got to be got through. So in the first column, you have all the revision topics. In the second column, you have, I really don't know this. In the third column, I half know this. And in the fourth column, I really understand this. I can recall this. I have learned it. And put 5 stars at the top of your A4 sheet of paper with the subject. And if it's a 5-star subject, you really like it, and you're going to choose a colour that you really like. If it's a 1-star or even a half-star subject, why did I choose this? I chose it because I really like the teacher and they've left, and now I don't like the subject, but I've got to stick it out. So you have your colours, and you have a folder or a box file that is the same colour as the colour you've chosen for that subject. And what is so exciting for us visual neurospicy people is that the ticks begin to move across the sheet. As you move from, I really don't know this, to, I half know this, and finally, I really understand this. And every revision session should begin with the subject that you wish you hadn't chosen and something that you really don't understand in that subject. It's that old swallow the frog, yeah? Tackle the hard task first, and then everything else will seem to follow seamlessly. Okay, so in summary, your neurospicy young person has got to treat themselves as a piece of action research. And there are no right or wrong answers. There is the answer that works best for your child. So do your research. What are the ideal conditions for them to study? Is it late at night? Is it early in the morning? Is it in silence? Or do they like really loud music to help them focus? Do they like to do it on their own? Do they need a body double, or do they need a study buddy to help them? Access arrangements. Hope you haven't left it too late to negotiate. But if you're in year 10, you've still got time to get this sorted out. In fact, year 10 is quite a good time to do this research, because then you can present your case to the school to say, she didn't do terribly well because we didn't have these access arrangements. So I would like those arrangements to be put in place in year 11. Colour code, topic tracker, and most of all, make it fun and build in a fantastic reward when you've done your 2 hours work or whatever target you've set yourself. And remember, there is my wonderful Whoop summary sheet for how to tackle procrastination. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.